The winds that sweep through the shattered peaks of the Azure Lotus Sect carry whispers of betrayal and unbridled ambition. Lingering smoke curls above the smoldering ruins where disciples once trained, and in the distance, the faint echo of an ancient bell warns of a power stirring beyond mortal comprehension. Within this chaos, Master Qin stands poised, his alchemy crucible simmering with secrets that could tip the balance of the Divine Dao itself. Every shadowed corridor and scorched courtyard hums with the promise of confrontation, and yet the true threat lies hidden, one that will challenge not only strength, but the very principles of destiny. Brace yourself! Alchemy Emperor of the Divine Dao, 1627 to 1628, reveals the fractures in loyalty and the emergence of a peril no cultivator dares name. In the boundless expanse of the immortal realm, whispers of a legend stirred like the shifting winds of an ancient storm. The name of the heavenly Emperor of Thunder and Fire carried weight that transcended time itself. Though his body had recently descended to the saint tier, merely a shadow of his former immortal palace glory, the depth of his comprehension of the great Tao remained untarnished. A few casual words from him were enough to send ripples of awe through the gathered saint kings, each of them seasoned cultivators who had carved their mark into the heavens. Age, it seemed, could never bind wisdom, especially not the kind belonging to a being who had endured eons before his reincarnation. Ling Han, sensing the pulse of destiny within him, refrained from stepping into the Black Tower. He felt the subtle vibrations of imminent breakthrough. Days, perhaps, were all that separated him from ascending a new height. Meanwhile, the heavenly Emperor of Thunder and Fire's teachings unfolded like a torrent of cosmic insight. 3 months passed, yet to the disciples and saint kings, the time seemed no more than a fleeting moment. They floated in an ocean of Tao, hearts pounding with the illusion of imminent transcendence. Their senses were drenched in enlightenment. Yet the reality remained. The peak of their cultivation had a ceiling, and severing mundane tier was reserved only for the celestial realm, a domain beyond their reach. Immortality and unyielding power were tantalizingly close, yet cruelly distant. Yet, even in illusion, the impact of the Emperor's teachings was profound. Digesting his Tao enriched battle prowess beyond measure. Among the greatest beneficiaries were the Star Sand Saint, the Tranquil Heart Saint, and the 9 small saints who, as hosts, listened from the sidelines. Far from reaching the limits of their power, these disciples absorbed every syllable, unknowingly weaving it into the tapestry of their future might. None could have anticipated that among them, a young prodigy, a mere brat of the 4 notorious troublemakers, possessed understanding so profound that even the seasoned Saint Kings hung upon his words as if they were lifelines cast across a stormy sea. Then, one morning, 3 months hence, a golden path unfurled across the horizon. Saintly might, fierce and unyielding, surged outward, spilling over the wood figure planet with the subtlety of a hammer striking iron. Its animosity was palpable, its killing intent untamed. The aura of a Saint King radiated, a beacon of raw power and authority. The gathered Saint Kings bristled, their expressions sharpening in disbelief. Who dared challenge them? Who dared to awaken such ferocity in a lone figure against dozens of seasoned kings? The Open Clouds King, his blood boiling with wrath over the death of Zhang Ye, surged forth in a tempest of fury. His clan's isolation had been deliberate, a precaution to avoid the wrath of neighboring forbidden lands. But now, the distant reaches of Wood Figure Planet could no longer contain him. His killing intent erupted like a volcanic storm, yet immediately a dozen rival auras rose to meet his own, each a force formidable enough to rival him. Alarm shot through him like lightning. This was no simple skirmish. He was ensnared in a web of Saint King might, a trap he could barely comprehend. Instinct screamed for retreat. A lifetime of secrets weighed upon him. When he had betrayed the Heavenly River King, he had claimed a fragment of the Celestial King technique, a treasure unknown to the other forbidden lands. It was a secret that could not be pried from the minds of the Saint Tier descendants. Yet here he stood, surrounded by enemies, his heart trembling with the fear of exposure. Flight was his only recourse, yet even as he moved to escape, judgmental eyes of fellow Saint Kings pierced him. Disdain and amusement rippled through them. Old Geezer Zhang, as cowardly as ever, muttered the Blue Feather Saint King. Others understood without words. The tangled history of betrayal, of alliances, and hidden techniques had produced this perfect storm of fear. Ling Han, standing poised amidst the gathering of immortals, sensed the subtle shifting of strategy in the eyes of the Saint Kings. A slow, knowing smile curved his lips. "There is one matter for which I have summoned all of you," he proclaimed, his voice carrying across the planet, rich with unyielding certainty. "You are here to witness my ascension to sainthood." The release of his aura was cataclysmic. Thunderclouds writhed across the sky as the heavenly tribulation coalesced, crackling with electric anticipation. The Saint Kings were dumbstruck. Only a few years past, Ling Han had been a high extreme eternal river tier cultivator, yet now he stood at the precipice of sainthood. The implications were terrifying. Anyone who underestimated him now would risk their very lives. Even a small saint, resolute and swift, could vanish beyond pursuit, rendering Saint Kings powerless to intervene. A tense silence filled the air, broken only by the stirrings of ambition and greed. Some Saint Kings began to weigh their options, the dark allure of seizing Ling Han before his ascension pressing upon their hearts. 7 of them, their auras brimming with lethal intent, coalesced into a storm of suppressed violence, ready to strike the boy who had dared defy fate itself. The stage was set, the cosmos holding its breath. Lightning split the skies, winds whipped through the forest below, and the very air seemed charged with anticipation. In this world of cultivators, where immortal ambition met unfathomable power, destiny would not be denied. The boy named Ling Han was poised to take his place among the saints, and the heavens themselves trembled at the spectacle to come. In the vast, star-speckled expanse of the galaxy, Ling Han stepped forward, leaving the confines of the wood-figured figure planet behind. The air itself trembled with divine pressure, for the planet's own heavenly tribulation would have been too much even for him to endure. His presence now pierced the void like a blade of lightning. The moment he entered the galaxy, a titanic aura surged toward him, fierce and indomitable. A Saint King had arrived. It was none other than the Open Clouds King, who had lingered nearby, observing, his eyes narrowing as he fixed his gaze upon Ling Han. "Damn brat!" the Open Clouds King bellowed, thunder rolling in his voice. A link of karma bound them, a mark of destiny and death. Zhongbadu had fallen to this boy's hand, and the Open Clouds King could scarcely believe he had emerged so boldly. Yet, before he could act, the sky itself convulsed. From the dense storm clouds above, a colossal lightning giant tore through the heavens, striking toward Ling Han with unstoppable force. The Open Clouds King froze. Even he, with his mastery, could sense the nature of the tribulation. Ling Han was undergoing a trial meant for saints, and the tremors rippling through the void revealed that he was transitioning from the Eternal River tier to the Genesis tier. The energy surging around him was approaching the magnitude of a great saint's tribulation. His heartbeat quickened. How could a mere small saint wield such terrifying power? To attack now would be madness. The risk of being ensnared in the heavenly tribulation himself, dragged into its ferocity and the magnified Saint King trial, was unthinkable. Only a fool would attempt to die alongside a small saint. Yet the Open Clouds King observed one undeniable truth. Ling Han might not survive this storm. Who, he wondered, could possess such power that rivaled even the great saints? Across the galaxy, golden pathways unfurled like rivers of light, drawing the attention of the Saint Kings from the forbidden lands. They arrived, each a colossal presence, their eyes fixed on the boy who dared the heavens themselves. "Old Geezer Zhang," one Saint King greeted, his tone carrying both respect and curiosity. The Open Clouds King's eyes flickered as he nodded, yet his mind raced. Through divine senses, he absorbed tales of Ling Han's previous triumphs, how he had slain not one, but 2 Saint Kings, how countless heaven demons had fallen before him. This prodigy could merge the regulations of the 2 realms, a feat that made him a linchpin for the future, a key that might one day unlock the celestial realm for all. The Open Clouds King's lips curved into a thin smile, calculating Ling Han's display, drawing so many powerful observers. Seemed a strategic maneuver, but was it a genuine gamble or a snare? Could this boy still possess hidden methods capable of toppling Saint Kings? Such a thought sent shivers down even the most hardened warriors. None dared act. Interfering with a heavenly tribulation of this magnitude meant certain death. Ling Han, too, felt the tension pressing upon him. Though his strength matched the trial of a great saint, his godly bones demanded tempering, a perilous endeavor that left him exposed. Yet his resolve hardened. He needed power above all else, for predators watched hungrily from every corner of the galaxy. Boom! In a bold act of self-mastery, Ling Han shattered his godly bones beneath the storm's wrath, submitting his body to the crucible of heaven itself. A murmur of disbelief rippled through the observing Saint Kings. Is he dead? Some whispered, their voices tinged with pity and awe. Some lamented the loss of a guide to the celestial realm. Others mourned the secrets and spirit that would vanish forever. Yet the aura of Ling Han endured. The link of karma tethered him to the Zhang clan, unbroken. He lives. He is tempering his godly bones, whispered the astonished observers. No wonder he can inscribe killing formations within his own flesh. Such resolve, such danger. Even the hardened Saint Kings could not help but feel the weight of his courage. Amid the cosmic storm, allies arrived. The Empress, the Heavenly Phoenix Maiden, the large black dog, all entering the galaxy with unwavering confidence in Ling Han. The Heavenly Emperor of Thunder and Fire, an elite of the immortal palace tier, could scarcely contain his shock. He saw a prodigy unmatched even by the elite within the celestial realm. Of course, the large black dog interjected proudly, all thanks to Grandpa Dog's teachings. A playful exchange ensued, the Empress's sword chi flashing as the dog narrowly dodged, their camaraderie providing a fleeting light amid the thunderous trials. Yet Ling Han faced the true tempest. The tribulation swelled, escalating from the trials of a small saint to those of a great saint. His shattered godly bones turned to dust under the assault, each strike a potential death sentence. But Ling Han, undeterred, summoned a drop of indestructible true fluid. His body surged anew, actively countering the tribulation's fury. Where once he had risked death to temper his physique, now he wielded the storm itself as his forge. With battle cries echoing across the void, he unleashed celestial techniques in relentless succession, defying the heavens. Questions burned in his mind. Why had the tribulation grown so monstrous? Never before had the heavens imposed such punishment at a breakthrough. The answer dawned with clarity. He and the Empress had merged the regulations of two opposing realms. To the immortal realm, Ling Han was an invader from the netherworld. The heavens, aligned against this union, spared no mercy, hurling destruction to crush the audacity of his existence. Yet he endured, a lone figure amid the celestial storm, carving his legend into the fabric of the galaxy.